the outset, it is best to understand why sleep is so important to us, especially in today's day and age. Our general health has degenerated in recent times, that's a fact no one can detract. Now, there are several reasons why our health has taken a tumble. We are moving away from nature and our own natural body patterns each day that we live. Our food has become synthetic for its most part, the clothes that we wear and most of the things that we use are not natural at all, even our civilization itself is completely away from the rulebook of nature. It is for this reason that we are facing so many health perils today. And, one of the most profound elements that is sortedly missing from our lifestyle is a healthy sleep pattern. In this chapter, we shall see why sleep is important. Why is it important for us to devote at least 7 to 9 hours of our day to sleep? How does sleeplessness or sleep deprivation affect our lives? These are important questions to answer before we move along with things. What's so good about sleep anyway? Finding time to sleep in our busy schedules is extremely important for our health and well-being. Most people push the boundaries when it comes to sleep. We restrict the time we allow for sleep, going to bed progressively later as we try to fit in the many different jobs that need completion each day. We underestimate the importance of sleep. Without adequate sleep, our bodies will react, and those important schedules we put off sleep to achieve will be affected eventually. It's only recently that we have begun to fully understand just how much our body needs sleep to function properly. Most of the body's normal activities rely on us having a regular sleep, and an interrupted sleep pattern is a significant stress on our bodies. Our nervous system, our digestive system and the ability of our body to repair itself are all dependent on our sleep cycles being consistent and regular. When we deprive our body of sleep, we inhibit our brain's ability to make decisions, our emotional responses to situations may be compromised, and even how we interact socially may be affected. Sleep is as necessary for our health as eating and drinking is. It has long been recognized that sleep deprivation is an effective torture tool, and experiments using rats have revealed that their life expectancy is significantly reduced when they are sleep deprived under experimental conditions. How much sleep a person needs is dependent on factors such as age and gender. Pregnant women, for example, may require more sleep than a non-pregnant woman of the same age group, and a child may require more sleep than an adult. However, an older adult generally requires less sleep than a younger adult. The amount of sleep an individual needs is fairly consistent with their age group. A typical adult will require approximately 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night to maintain optimum health and performance. If we reduce that amount of sleep time over a series of nights, our body will eventually react and we need to make up that time, usually in what is termed as a sleep-in. However, even though we know we will sleep in on the weekend, our performance during the working week may be severely affected by our lack of sleep. If we find ourselves excessively yawning during the day, or finding it difficult to remember simple details or make simple judgment calls correctly, it is possible we are suffering from sleep deprivation. People take micro-sleeps where they lose consciousness for very short periods of time without realizing it, leading to potentially dangerous situations. Many road deaths and incidents at work have been directly traced to insufficient sleep the night before. With so many serious side effects and consequences of not sleeping, we should all be ensuring we schedule adequate sleep into our daily lives. A very important aspect of sleep deprivation that the world is facing today, and probably a contributor to that as well, is our own unwillingness to sleep. We know that sleep is important, we even know that if we do not sleep adequately, then it will create a lot of problems for us in future, but we are still in denial and we do not give this very essential part of our lives its due importance. What is it that is making us not sleep? There are so many people who are burning the midnight lamp for various reasons, but to what avail? Are deadlines so important that we should lose sleep over them? What effects can such a hazardous lifestyle have on our health? In this chapter, we are going to see what makes people lose sleep. We learn, through the concept of circadian rhythms, that our body is made to behave in a particular way. The mechanism of our body ordains that it should sleep, and the amount of sleep it gets should be adequate. We all know if we are morning people or evening people. Many people can jump out of bed easily in the morning, often without the need for an alarm clock. At 9 p.m. in the evening they are ready to sleep, their ability to focus and think clearly severely diminished. Yet they may be married to someone who finds it extremely difficult to get out of bed in the mornings, but at 9 p.m. at night they are awake and produce their best quality work. The difference between this pair is their biological clock that affects what are called the circadian rhythms. The hormone melatonin, which is produced in the brain in response to darkness, increases at night and is decreased during the day. Melatonin makes you feel drowsy and reduces your body temperature. Blood levels of the hormone are highest around midnight and levels gradually reduce in the second half of the night. Every individual has his or her own minor variation to this hormonal response. This variation is the reason why some people feel sleepy earlier than others. Age is also a contributing factor to our sleep needs. The area that controls the production of melatonin also controls other body functions such as blood pressure and urine production, which are reduced at night. The wake-sleep cycle is the rise and fall of melatonin, and the response of our body to its production or lack of production are the symptoms we feel when we are tired and the alert feelings we have when we are awake during periods when there are low levels of melatonin circulating in our blood. The levels of melatonin reducing once you are exposed to daylight explains why you gradually feel more energetic and less sleepy after you have been awake for a while. Many people believe that their morning coffee is essential for them to wake up, but while to a degree this is true as caffeine is a stimulant, simultaneously your body's levels of melatonin are reducing under the influence of the daylight, creating a more alert feeling and less drowsiness, which is stimulated further by your cup of coffee or tea. The amount of sleep we need and the reason why we don't always feel sleepy at night, and yet feel very sleepy in the afternoon after a big meal, or on a hot day is dependent on a number of factors. There are other reasons for feeling less than energetic in the afternoon, which must be addressed. The types of food we eat for lunch, for example, will affect our afternoon energy levels, but some people do experience a slight rise in melatonin levels in the afternoon and a slight drop in body temperature, and while this does not have the same effect as nighttime melatonin, it does cause drowsiness and a need for daytime naps. A lot of people around us, people walking the face of the earth just as we do, are deprived. They are deprived of sleep. Sleep is a natural gift, but these people have taken their lives so far away from the rule of nature that they have quite literally lost sleep. However, sleep is something that we just cannot do without, isn't it? Even if people have been walking on the wild side where sleep is concerned, a time comes when they try to call it back. They want a healthy sleeping pattern to be formulated in their lives once again, and most of these people are prepared to do several logical and illogical things for it. People try everything from meditation to medication, they try to improve their breathing patterns, they try to imbibe new relaxation methods within themselves. All this is an unending quest to call sleep back into their nocturnal, and sometimes even diurnal, lives. But do these methods work? Can lost sleep be regained? This chapter delves into such methods and reveals which of these sleep-inducing methods work and which do not. And, yes, also keep your eyes out to read about whether old wives' tales like counting sheep work if you are looking for good sleep. Have you ever tried counting sheep in the hope it will help you sleep? When you are feeling tired but you can't sleep, it can be very frustrating. Approximately half of all people in the USA experience trouble sleeping. In desperation, many of them try medications, meditations, in fact, anything they can think of to help them relax and sleep. Do these techniques work and end the insomnia, inability to sleep? Counting sheep sounds like an old wives' tale. It can work, and psychologists have shown that it probably works by focusing both sides of your brain on the one subject, not giving you chance to think about other things that keep your brain active. Other people try medications. Most are supplied on prescription with medical supervisions. There are two main types of sleeping tablets, the tablets to help you fall asleep and others that will help you to stay asleep. Many people do notice an immediate improvement in their sleeping patterns when they take medications, however the body quickly develops a tolerance to them and they have a rebound effect that has the opposite reaction to their intended use. In other words, if you take sleeping tablets over a long period of time, it is probable you will start to have insomnia problems even though you are taking the medications. Sleep apnea. If you snore when you sleep, it is highly likely you may also have a condition known as sleep apnea. People with this condition actually stop breathing for short periods while they are sleeping. This causes a drop in blood oxygen levels, and the brain disturbs the sleep of the person to ensure they breathe. If this happens regularly through the night, it will make you tired throughout the day. Limb movements. Some people are affected at night by the need to move their legs and limbs due to restless legs, a syndrome that causes tingling or other unusual sensations in the limbs. Other people experience sudden movements in their limbs, and this causes their legs or arms to jerk suddenly and without warning. Both of these conditions, even if they occur subconsciously, will interfere with the sleep cycle and disturb sleep. Medical reasons. There are large groups of people who fall asleep during the day for very short periods of time regularly. These micro-sleeps may be hereditary or may be caused by some brain dysfunction. If you or a loved one experience any of these symptoms and feel tired and often feel tired throughout the day, you should seek medical advice. Feeling tired throughout the day may also be simply a result of the food we eat during the day. Research is showing that foods that are highly processed and high in carbohydrates may raise our blood sugar levels suddenly and create a sudden drop in the afternoon, creating the afternoon lethargy most of us know very well. Having a lunch that includes protein and ensuring that exercise is included in the day's routine may help to reverse the effect of this very common reason for feeling sleepy during the day despite a good night's sleep. 6 tips for a power nap. Most people are more than aware of how difficult it can be to stay awake in the heat of the middle parts of the day. As the early afternoon approaches, many of us find it difficult to stay awake. We become drowsy and find it very difficult to focus and complete our work. Some people find they hallucinate or fall asleep for a few minutes. These situations can be extremely dangerous, especially if handling electrical equipment or driving a car. Why we feel that sleepy is due to many factors. Our internal body clock and our natural body rhythms, the temperature of the environment we are working in, the lighting in that environment, how much time we spend working on computers, and what we eat for our breaks all play an important role on how we feel in the afternoon. There is growing evidence that a 20-minute nap in the afternoon improves focus and memory, which increases productivity and workplace safety. Those who work at home or who are in a position to take this power nap will benefit from it and should take advantage of the opportunity to have one whenever they can. Many cultures around the world have recognized the need to close shops, schools, and businesses and include an afternoon siesta into the daily routine. Today, in the fast-paced lifestyles of the industrialized world are embracing the afternoon nap, not so much as a luxury, but a necessity to help them deal with the many expectations on their time in the afternoon and evening. Workplaces around the world are providing space for their staff to take a power nap, recognizing the benefit to the workplace when staff does have time to take one. If this is not possible in your workplace, there are things you can do. Take a 10-minute nap in your car or in another safe area during your lunch break. Even these 10 minutes could mean a lot to you. However, when you are preparing yourself to take such a short nap, make sure to free your mind of all distractions. Just surrender yourself completely to sleep. Maybe you could use some soothing music to help you free your mind completely. When you wake